I didn't want to make a third trucker video before I covered something else, but flicking through the news made me so annoyed that, well, here we are. So I'll do everybody a favour and try and keep this concise. I'm sure you've heard of the trucker convoy, if not from the news then from my old videos, so I'll save us all some time and not retread old ground. Suffice to say, they are getting very, very authoritarian very, very quickly. They've come up with a new threat to get the truckers to move. That is after threatening them with a fine, and then with arrest, and then with losing their jobs, having their licenses and insurance revoked, and then freezing their bank accounts. The new threat can be summed up with, move or we'll kill your pets. Yes, you heard that right. They of course worded it a little more politically, saying that if you're unable to care for your animals as a result of the enforcement actions, basically not being able to get any supplies in to feed them as they're arresting people who try and bring the supplies in, your animal will be placed into protective care for 8 days, at your expense. After 8 days, if you do not come and collect the animal, it will be considered relinquished, which is a rather cold term for I think you know what. It just goes to show they no longer give a shit about how the public see them. Most people think of a pet as part of their family, and that's because normal people have hearts, unlike the Canadian government. If for some reason you don't understand how horrible this is, perhaps this will enlighten you. Even the president of El Salvador has come out to condemn this, saying the international community should be outraged and condemning this as a violation of human and animal rights. And if something like this had happened in Latin America, the West would be all over it and them. But they're silent right now, and do you know what? He's absolutely right. They are even threatening journalists with arrest. They are threatening any media with arrest if they cover the enforcement action against the peaceful protesters. It makes me wonder, what the hell are they doing that's so bad they cannot risk journalists finding out? Whatever it is, it's obviously worse than the stigma of arresting journalists, as if that isn't bad enough on its own. And it's not just a threat, they already have arrested some. I mean, I'm at a loss for words. You would think that this kind of thing simply can't happen in the West, that there'd be too many safeguards. But it is happening, and nothing's going to stop them. And doubtless there's going to be people that are saying, oh well, it's a democracy, just vote him out. What, in 2025? Oh yeah, just in time, right? Peaceful protesters are being treated like the worst kind of criminals. There are people in jail for murder and all kinds of horrible things that have nowhere near the punishment that these truckers are going through. They didn't have their bank accounts frozen. It seems like they're trying to turn the word freedom into some kind of dirty word, like it's seen as some kind of alt-right dog whistle, instead of the universal concept that is so important to protect. Even if you don't like the truckers, you should be taking note, because this is history in the making. Every decision they make, the further down the rabbit hole they go, the more precedents they set to use powers like this in the future, maybe even against you. You don't know what side you'll find yourself on the next time this happens. And you've got to wonder how secure your freedom is. If it could be taken away by passing some kind of emergency act, then what can't be taken away? How free is your country, truly, if it could be taken away by the wave of a pen? And what's next? Do they really think their reputation will ever recover from this? They must know that come the next election cycle, they are definitely going to be voted out, unless that magic pen waves again and there's some excuse to stop it. Because if you can't see where this is going, then I can't help you. And as always, thank you for your time.